Hi Toby, welcome to Zero to Pro. Thank you for uploading your pictures. As a word of introduction, I always give to everybody who joins our school, you have to do both the homework and the photo shoot each week. If you want to see the results that we're now seeing by literally all of our students that have completed the course, it's amazing. The results are just amazing. The kind of photography people are taking after just less than 10 weeks is really amazing. But it is based on you doing the photo shoot and the homework. Like I say to everybody, the class, when you sit through online, the class gets the information into your head. Then the homework gets the information from your head into your heart. And then the photo shoot gets it into your hands. Okay, and you need it in your hands. Photography is a skill, it is a craft, and it needs to be practiced. There's no shortcuts. I guarantee there's no shortcuts. Practice, practice, practice. And I'm looking from these pictures that I'm looking at right now. I think that you're going to do amazingly, but just don't trick yourself into thinking that you'd be able to do it without practice. I just mentioned this so emphatically because a lot of our students in the first homework, they don't do the photo shoot. They think, I did the homework. Just trying to completely, even to think of it in this term, the photo shoot is more important than the homework. They both need to be done, but the photo shoot is more important than the homework. The photo shoot is, like I said, where you see it empty your hands and it becomes like one with you, which is what we want. Okay, that said, let's jump in. So our first picture is a triangle. That's great, that's fine. What I say to a lot of people is try and think a little bit more linearly in regards to, right now your triangle is something like this. Okay, now what could have been done is, even with this little, whatever that is, tomato or something, or as you may say, a tomato, would bring this close. If you were to bring this little tomato all the way forward, you would end up get bigger and bigger because it's coming closer and closer to you. So it would be bigger in your viewfinder. You can have it so close to you that it's actually a massive thing. Whereas the apple, that in reality is bigger than the tomato, would be further away, and that would actually appear to be smaller. So you could create a triangle that only existed from one certain kind of perspective. You with me? Which would be more interesting. It would be more interesting. And what you need to do, don't get me wrong, in life in general, there's lots of triangles knocking around all over the place graphically, but it would be a more intelligent kind of triangle when you do, sometimes you get yourself into a certain position where, the town is in the front and the foreground and the mirror in the background, and it ends up that the town's bigger and creates. That's how photographers are trying to think. So good one. Anyway, you did it. That's great. Let's have a look. This is pattern. I'm sure this is also pattern. Here you go. And this is your texture, and I'm assuming this is also your texture. Very good. And this is your depth. Also, be careful, please. You didn't renumber that one, but just renumber that one. Just make sure to be careful in the renumbering of your pictures. Okay, in this case, it's not such a big deal. Okay, pattern, excellent. A pattern is a recurring geometric sequence, which is exactly what this is. It's interesting because it's not just a pattern in that behind you is less of a pattern and it's more of a perspective, depth of colours, stuff like that. So it's difficult to see it as a pattern. Usually I'm used to things like this, where that's a pattern. Okay, that's a great pattern. This is also a great pattern, but it's interfered by the background, which isn't a pattern. Although this definitely has pattern qualities to it, this bit over here. Anyway, this is great. This is a well-seen pattern. A lot of energy is moving over here with these lines. They end up like short rectangles, so they have the power of like a rectangle, but they also have the power of vertical lines. You have lots of contrasts, lots of hard gradients, a big difference between light and dark. A lot of these squares created as well. The negative squares over here, a lot of energy in that shape. We could make it even more energized by doing, where is it? This guy over here. To straighten, if we twist it, you see how that actually added more energy, and I think even to twist it again and have it close up, you need to now save it for it to be sharp. 1 second. Very good. Well, that's a very intense pattern. Very good. Excellent. Well seen. Okay, textures. So you're just a little bit out of focus here for the texture, but this is great. And don't get me wrong, it leads to a different kind of texture when you're out of focus. Okay, so this is a valid texture. It's just, you can see it's not completely sharp, like that's the sharp part. Okay, that's fine. And here is a much softer texture. Look at the difference in these two textures. You should note that if this was actually hard, sharp in focus, it would be a very different texture. It would be a much more energized texture. This is excellent. A lot of nice subtle energies here. Soft pinks obviously makes everything more fluffy and furry, and it is fluffy and furry. But these kind of wiggly lines going like this, that all adds to the energy. The fact that there's not a high dynamic range, that adds to the soft energy. Just to remember, the reason why when you look at this you feel a certain thing is because of the graphics. Okay, it really is. When you stand in a city and you look at the buildings going up to the up to the sky, even if you didn't hear the noises and smell the smells, you were just looking at buildings gives you a different emotional feeling, a different feeling than looking at, say, trees or looking at a desert landscape. And the difference is graphics, colors, shapes, depth perspective, contrast, textures, etc. It goes on everything that you've just learned. So just keep that in mind, because that is what the world is made out of, and as a photographer you need to be looking on that kind of a level. Okay, depth and perspective, nailed it. This is excellent. Just to show you that depth and perspective, if we find the lines, if we draw this line here and actually follow the lines, let's just follow them without looking where they're going to go. Okay, you see I just followed that line. You see, this is called the vanishing point. You see, and then we can even follow the line of the cars over here. Just following the line, not even looking to where I'm going. And this line as well, let's see this line here, I'm not even going to look where I'm going, I'm just going to follow it. It all takes you to the same place. Okay, that is called vanishing point. That is a great example of depth perspective. I see from here that you need, I think, to clean your lens, take a tissue, something soft, and just do a little wiggle, make sure you can see. You'll see, it's like cleaning your glasses. Would I recommend like breathing on it? Depends on how expensive your lens is. Sometimes I do, but I don't think it's probably a good idea. Excellent. And this is really a great shot. I love this picture. Again, let's see. Here we've got two depth perspectives. Let's see what happens again. It's just so interesting. I'm just going to follow the line. Okay. And we're going to follow this line. So it really meets over here. And then let's follow this line, let's say. I'm not even looking. You see, it's really, this is how it works. What magical world we live in. See, it all convalesces in that one point. Okay, that is called the vanishing point. What is nice though here is that you've put these little girls in, which is great. What I would do to add a lot more energy to this picture is I would crop down like this. Now, she's not sharp in focus, which is a little bit annoying. The focus is over here. You'll learn about that in the next class. But this would be a really powerful picture. If she was sharp in focus and we made her very contrasty, and then made her dark, made everything darker. You'll see. Maybe let's have just a quick look. Is there anything else to look at? Let's see this. So I'm assuming this one is meant to be the balanced picture, and it is quite balanced. I would crop a little bit away here. Oh, is this looking into space? So 1 second. Class 1 is nope, balance. So we do have a balanced image with our subject looking out into space. That's great. There's a reason why she's dark and why she's underexposed a little bit, which you will understand in the last class. So maybe if you can somehow put this picture, try and make a note that you're going to look at this picture when you hit the last class, and you'll be, oh, now I understand exactly why she's a little bit underexposed. Okay, it's to do with the auto function that you are on, which is, you're on program matrix. Again, this is a little bit ahead of us. Let's take this picture into Lightroom. It's not going to be what I want because she really needs to be pin sharp, but let's have a look anyway and see what we can do. This is part of the course, by the way. Although you haven't actually been introduced to Lightroom yet, you will be introduced to Lightroom over the next couple of weeks. And Lightroom is the software that we use to edit our pictures generally, and it is intrinsically a part of photography. Don't listen to anybody where they say, well, it's like cheating because we did that in post-production. It's ridiculous. Lightroom is part of photography. In 2018, Lightroom and Photoshop are just as much part of photography as what camera you're using, what lens you're choosing, what flashes you're using, if you're using flashes, etc. Okay, let's just have a look. I would immediately think about making this panoramic. Again, this isn't going to end up looking like a great shot because we needed her to be sharp. I'm going to give you a good, it's going to be, you're going to get the idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, I will sharpen her a little bit. Remember, sharpness only does so much. Okay, you cannot generally save an image that is not sharp. Let's turn this black and white. And I'm going to put up the skin tone to drop. And now, that's funny, see, the yellow. I actually quite like it up, even like that. And that's okay, we can keep that quite bright. I do really want to get to this thing here, which is maybe on the red. Oh, where is it? Let's just see what it looks like. It's like a brown. It's maybe linked to the yellow. Yes, it's linked to the skin tones. Okay, so we'll fix that in a different way. Okay, I'm now going to press H so I can see my circle. Again, I know this is like a little bit above you right now, but it will just, so you just enjoy what you can do with Lightroom, because Lightroom is amazing. I'm going to drop the exposure a little bit. I'm going to click invert, ching. So we've got this just like this, and I think what I want to do is actually add a little bit of clarity, or quite a lot of clarity. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. See, just to make it super powerful. And I think I'm going to use my brush tool now with a lot of clarity and contrast, and I'm going to go even more over these lines. I don't usually do such a thing, but that is going to add. You see it's already adding. Just painting over these lines. And I think also over the floor over here, that's also going to add something as well. Yeah, as it does. Great. Look at the difference. We actually nearly got away with just a little. If she was pin sharp, it would be fantastic. As it is, it came out much better than I thought it was going to come out. That's definitely a direction that I would go in a pitch like that. Okay, excellent. You did really, really well. That was really encouraging for the first class. And keep up the good work. Remember, the photo shoot, just make sure that you do it. It's really where the real fruits of the course are. We've been now in business for about 6 months, and we have seen such amazing results from the students, and the ones who are successful are the ones who invest themselves. So I'm asking you, invest yourself. It's so worth it. You'll be able to make some decent money from this within a few weeks, not too long from now. Keep plugging away. You've got a good camera. You are set up for success. So I hope you take advantage of it, and looking forward to seeing what you do for us next week. Okay, all the best.